Today's message: time is the only currency that we spend like no other without knowing our balance. So use your time wisely. I choose to use mine to help you guys follow those breadcrumbs to wealth. That's what I do. I choose to use my time and invest it in cryptocurrency, guys, so that I can hopefully get you guys to your dreams and your goals. Welcome back to Grow Rich, Grow Happy, all my free thinkers, that place where we follow those breadcrumbs to wealth. Guys, I'm about to show you a loaf of bread that one of my ex-followers dropped on me. I want to say it was yesterday, and it was something about the Zebec network, guys, that had we seen it 2 years ago, they dropped this breadcrumb, and this breadcrumb actually includes, and I'm just going to focus on Zebec, but it actually includes Stellar Lumens, Ripple, and MetalPay. So in this video, the reason I want to make this video, because it is so important, because I believe that as free thinkers and as the Grow Rich, Grow Happy community, you guys can pick something up like this and say, so this is the things I need to look for when I'm looking for my next investment at just an insane deal. So that's what we're going to be talking about this video, guys. I got, this actually blows me away. And guess what? I got news for you. It's not too late, because I believe you guys are going to see so much value in this particular breadcrumb or loaf of bread, or however you want to say it, that you guys are going to continue and just go on to become successful investors in cryptocurrency, guys. This is your first time here to Grow Rich, Grow Happy. I want to thank you guys for giving this platform, this community. Really, this is a community. And when you guys reach out to me on X, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you guys choose to, or email me, guys, I want you to know that when I do have time, I do get to those emails, because I value all the free thinkers in this community, guys. You guys rock. And I'm going to show some love in this video, as this breadcrumb comes from a Tim Delay. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm going to drop his information down below, because if he can spot things like this, guys, I love it. I just love it. Let's just say I love it. So guys, do me a favor, smash that like button while you're here. Smash it. Give me a subscribe, of course. Hit that bell notification so that you don't miss these breadcrumbs when I drop them. Jump down below. Get you a Tangent wallet, guys. That's the most important things you need to do so that you can safeguard your crypto. I actually, yesterday, a client of mine, I stopped and I helped her set up her Tangent wallet, and she is a lot happier now. She says she can sleep a lot easier. So I just think it's wonderful if you guys really get in the habit of safeguarding your crypto. You get a 10% discount off if you use my link down below in the description, and it goes to support the channel. So I thank all of you that have taken advantage of it and will in the future, guys. Also, don't forget to swing over to growrichgrowhappy.com and get you your free crypto investment guide that shows you a little bit on how I like to do research, but how you can do it your own self, guys. And make sure you swing on over. Also, I know I got a lot to talk about. To swing on over to the Grow Rich, not the Grow Rich, Grow Happy, but the Free Thinkers Patreon page, because I plan on going through this a little bit deeper, this particular thing I'm talking about today over there. Okay, guys, with that being said, enough said, right? So this particular article that I'm going to talk about, first I'm going to jump over here because I want to show some love to this guy and show you just how he called me out. And check this out. So this is the guy right here. I follow him as well. His name is Tim Delay, and he put this, he tagged me actually in this, and he says, not seeing much on Zebec network beyond 2024, but in 2023 September it was being mentioned alongside the likes of Ripple and Stellar. Is this another dark horse quietly building in the background like XDC? And that's another one you guys have to watch out for, XDC. I'm still waiting on it to drop a little bit more so I can grab some. Don't sleep on Zebec. This may be melting faces. Well, Tim, I must say you are you are 100% correct, because this is the article we're about to go over, guys. We're not going to go over it in all of its detail. I am going to drop that down below as well, but I do want to jump over here to it. Okay, here's the article. FedNow has launched as blockchain innovation delivers next-gen instant payment. Guys, this was made in September 17th, 2023. I was still fumbling my way through crypto sometime back then. Actually, I was coming into my own of really connecting the dots, guys. But all of these breadcrumbs and different things, they hadn't yet really jumped on me yet. So, but I tell you this, had I seen this back then, a lot of us would be swimming in profits like right now, because these are the type of things I look at. So it says after 5 years in development, the U.S. Reserve has launched FedNow. Now, guys, they launched FedNow in July, that the article says, July of 2023. But they were in development for 5 years, guys, this whole instant payment thing. 5 years. So if this should tell you anything, guys, there's nothing that just springs out of nowhere. They're working on it. That's why when I bring you these breadcrumbs on here, guys, I'm telling you, it's because I'm seeing things long before they come into fruition. These guys knew about this, guys. So I look at this, and this is when I bring you these breadcrumbs, but I'm thinking in terms of Zebec. This is why Zebec is a hell of a find. But they were mentioned in this article, guys, back in 2023. So let's continue. So this article basically talks about FedNow, what it is, what they're doing. And they talk about, they actually allude to fintech firms like PayPal, peer-to-peer platforms like Venmo and Cash App, and private entities like the Real-Time Payments Network by Clearinghouse, how they've been filling in this instant payment gap in the U.S. for several years now. Well, I always tell people who don't understand crypto, I say, if you use things like PayPal and Venmo, Cash App and whatnot, you understand crypto. I say it's basically the exact same thing. And then it kind of lays the groundwork for them understanding how crypto works. And anybody out there that have family members or anything, make sure you send them this video. And while you're at it, guys, smash that like button for me. But also use the example of how you get instant cash with Venmo and Cash App. It actually breaks the ice a little bit when you're trying to understand crypto or trying to, relay it to someone who may not be as crypto savvy as you. So I'm continuing down though, because you got to understand, they said FedNow and blockchain goals. They say though FedNow doesn't use blockchain technology. Now you got to think, guys, this is in 2023. 5 years before that, we were still in this battle of crypto is a scam. We're not going to use crypto, but they were borrowing the same thing. You had companies like Tacit Pay, and what they do, they basically do the same thing that blockchain do. They actually utilize blockchain and they utilize smart contracts, but they're not a crypto company. So what they were using is kind of like where we have now a Zebec. So people like FedNow, which is the government, they were still against cryptocurrency. So they were going to basically come out with their own way of giving you instant payment. But this was before Metal. However, they do allude to Metal assisting them back then, even as 2023. And then that partnership wasn't yet solidified. And now that it is, they are utilizing Metal blockchain, which is another breadcrumb. So we're going to continue. They actually mentioned them in here, but we're not here for that. We're here for something else. The FedNow service provider showcase and online resources connecting financial institutions and instant payment service providers recently featured Drop, a Hedera-based micropayment platform. Here we go, another breadcrumb right here. Hedera, Drop. These are breadcrumbs, guys, that you have to see long before we get to where we are now with the whole ISO 20022 about to be switched over. It was here. The breadcrumbs were here all along. But I'm going to show you something else as we come down. And they talk about here, while partnerships between blockchain projects and FedNow can benefit financial services, FedNow is a centralized closed system, guys. a walled garden, and it's not aligned or open source development principles of public blockchain technology. Until now, they are. So we come down here because I want to, I'm going to drop this down below for you guys. But what I'm looking for is right here. It's right here. Decentralized Web3 platforms like Ripple, Stellar, ding, ding, ding. I swear you guys' hair should be standing up. We're talking about September 2023, guys. We're in 2025. Ripple, Stellar, Zebec are positioning to transform the payment space by addressing the limitations of traditional payment systems to combine technology and finance seamlessly, paving the way for a new era of frictionless global payments. Guys, I just saw this. Thank you, Tim, for this one. I would have seen this and I'd have like ding, 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 ding. So, okay, where we are now. So I took this for you guys. I'm gonna drop this down below. But we got Ripple, Stellar, Zebec. Now, mind you, this was back when Zebec was ZBC. This was before they even did their name change and they pretty much migrated. So this is way back, guys. But we're gonna go to Ripple first because this seems the one you want to talking. Ripple, where we are right now. So, guys, $2.41. Now, Ripple is crazy. Everybody's talking about Ripple everywhere you go. XRP. They've dropped they've dropped this case now, guys. This channel, you guys knew they was gonna drop it if you believed me. But we're gonna go back to the max, and we're gonna go around here and say September because I would have known about this and I'd be like, oh, it's coming. We're gonna go to September. We're gonna go 23rd. 2023. Let's go up in here, guys, because that's what we're looking for. September. Had I seen this, I'd have been all on Ripple. Look at this, guys. You could have got Ripple as low back then. Anytime that month, 50 cent, 40 something cent. This is back here. 50 cent, 48 cent. You could have got it anytime in October. You'd have been paying roughly close to 50 cent for Ripple. You'd have been stacking it, because you'd have stayed aware that there's a bigger plan for them. And look where you be right now. Of course, it's been higher than this, but you'd be here right now. You'd have your profits. Some of you might have taken a little bit. DCA, take your profits, got back in. Now, same thing with Stellar. Stellar's 27 cent. It has been up to like 50 cent this year, I believe. But if you go back here and you go back to around the time this would have been out, 12 cent. Guys, can you see how much you'd have been paying? You'd have been paying 12, 11 cent for Stellar. Look at this. I remember even buying some Stellar back then. And you'd have rolled this up to like 50 cent. Stellar is going to be amazing. We know Stellar is going to go way higher than that. But you'd have been in early based on a breadcrumb. Now we're going to go over to Zebec. And Zebec right here, you can't even go back that far, guys. For Zebec, you have to go back to ZBC. Because that was who they were back then, and you can see it here. So you'd have to go back here. You'll be back here, guys, in September. So you'll be way back. You don't even have to look at that just to know how these breadcrumbs work. So what I'm telling you guys is these are the type of breadcrumbs, and I hope this has basically solidified the fact. We already know Ripple's going to be here. We already know that Stellar is here. We already know that they're being used. We know this, but a lot of you might be still on the fence about the Zebec network, and I'm telling you, don't be on the fence. This solidifies it, guys. These guys were talked about and brought up by Forbes magazine, guys, back then, 2023. They knew what Zebec was doing. They actually mentioned Zebec's founder, Sam. I can't even pronounce his last name. But guys, these are the breadcrumbs you have to pay attention to if you want to make generational wealth that is going to transform your family's situation and get you from point A to whatever it is you try to get to, guys. But this right here solidifies things. I love that Tim dug this up. I'm leaving his information down below, like I was telling you guys, because he dug up a major breadcrumb. And although us looking at that article is after the fact, guys, there's people out there that are still sleeping on Zebec network. These guys, like Tim said in his post, are slowly and quietly building the future right here under everybody's noses. And only we can choose if we're going to invest or not. Guys, do not Do not miss this opportunity. This your boy. Till next one, guys. Follow these breadcrumbs. I'm out.